All right, this week on Camera Talk. Are we going anywhere?
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No. Well, we're actually staying home. That's right. We're going to be just talking about some camera stuff this week instead of really looking at anything.
Get the fuck out of here.
So it's a pretty, if you're used to the marathon videos that we usually present here, well, you're not going to get that today. All right, it's going to be short and simple, short and sweet. So what's it all about? Speed, brother. That's right. Shooting speed. So what's that all about? Well, why don't you grab yourself something to eat or drink, get yourself comfortable.
You just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
And we'll find out together. All right, let's get it on.
Here I am in Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and his little co-host, Dylan, who's not here because he's at school because it's 3:15 in the afternoon, so I go pick him up in about 45 minutes. But it's raining cats and dogs out there. I'm just
So, what are you trying to say?
looking out the window. You can't even see across the street. That's how much it's pouring out there. And this is rainy season here in Vietnam, so it's to be expected. But anyway, what are we here for this week? What are we talking about this week? Speed, brother. That's right. Well, not that kind of speed. The other kind of speed, as in lenses. That's right. Fast versus slow. So what exactly is a fast lens?
And why would I know that?
Now, of course, for you veterans out there, I'm sure you're quite aware of what a fast lens is, but hey, not everybody's been doing this for a long time.
Why is your problem?
Maybe some beginners out there that have heard this phrase and don't really know what are they talking about, a fast lens. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. So we're not looking at any gear, we're not looking at any techniques or anything else.
What the fuck?
Even though it all kind of rolls together into the same topic, but we're just going to focus on the definition. So what is a fast lens? I don't know.
I don't know.
Just kidding. No, the speed. When we talk about a fast lens, again, we're looking at generally we're looking at the aperture, right? On my Sony here, I've got a 51.2. On my Leica here, I've got a 35 1.4. On my Lumix over there, it's also like a zoom lens, but it starts at 1.7. Those numbers are considered fast.
Why I hate math.
Now, when you were talking fast, again, fast what? Talk about fast autofocus. Some lenses are very, very snappy with their autofocus, right? You focus in on this, boom, it hits it. Change focus over here, boom, it hits it. Is that a fast lens?
No. No. Mm-mm.
Or you focus and it hunts in and out and finally catches it. Is that considered a slow lens?
No. 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 No.
If we were talking autofocus, yes, to both of those. But no, that's not what a fast lens is even thinking about. Who cares about autofocus? Because things like, again, my Summilux here is manual focus. There's no auto anything. So the 1.4 is what makes it a fast lens. So again, it's still not, what's it got to do with anything being fast? So, just to give you the definition of where that whole idea of the phrase came from in the first place, is that a fast lens is one that allows for a greater amount of light to hit the sensor. To be gathered by the sensor. Now, why is that important? Well, because the more light that your sensor can gather, the faster the shutter speed that you can dial in. All right? shutter speed, fast. See any kind of relationship there?
Fracking, it's brilliant, and that's the end of it. I doubt I hear any more fucking words about it.
Well, that's where it comes from. Yeah. So basically, a fast lens is something that's just going to gather more light. So it allows for faster shutter speeds. 250, 500, 1000, 4000, 8000, boom, 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 snap, snap, snap. Now a slow shutter speed, one that's 4.56 or something like that, go ahead and try to set a shutter speed at 5000, 8000. Good luck, you're probably going to come up with some pretty dark resolution.
Holy crap.
Anyhow, that's where the phrase comes from. But what constitutes a classification as being fast? Like, where's that cutoff? It's almost like asking, when somebody considers themselves young or old, right? When you were 20-something, let's say you're 25, you always tell somebody, oh yeah, in September I'm going to be 26. You're always going ahead, right? And then once you're 30-something, they say, how old are you? You say, well, I just turned 35 last September. So we're going backwards. So forward, back, we're not sure where that cutoff is, so where you're happy being what age you are.
Holy shit.
So same thing with the fast lenses. It took a while for everybody to decide what really is the classification of what a fast lens is. And what they came up with is 2.8. That's right. 2.8 is considered a fast lens. And with that said, anything below that, whether it's 2.5, 2.4, 2.0, 1.8, 1.4, 1.25, blah, 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 all the way down to 0.95 and bigger. Those are considered fast lenses because they allow more light to get into the barrel of the lens, which means that sensor is being exposed to more of that light. So when you look at your typical kit lens, like what's on my Canon M50, which is recording this video right now, it's a kit lens, which is a 15 to 45 EFM lens, and it ranges 3.5 up to 5.6. So on the bottom end, it's 3.5, and on the 45 millimeter, it's 5.6, and it's variable aperture. So that is not a fast lens. It's a kit lens, and that's why they're usually more economical. I wouldn't say cheap, even though some people may say, kit lenses are cheap.
They suck. They just suck.
Well, they're economical. And here at Modesty Photography, we're all about saving money and everything, so kit lenses have their place. Hey, I'm using one. I've used one for years. It does the job, right? So anyway, that's why zooms, if you're looking at a zoom like a 70 to 200, let's say, to use as an example, and if it has a fixed aperture, 2.8, let's say, which is fast, right? Considered fast in our classification. That means from 70, up to 100, up to 150, up to 200, it's all 2.8. That is going to be a more expensive model of that lens than the same one, 70 to 200, which has a variable range, starting at 2.8, but then going up to 3.5, and then 4, and then up to 5.6. That's going to be a more economical version of that same lens.
Cheap bastard.
So be aware of what that's all about too. But why do we want fast? Shutter speed is great. That's where the term fast comes from, right? Why? Right?
What the fuck is that?
Whew. But why? What else do we like it for other than that? And I can tell you because I have plenty of fast lenses in my collection. Actually, most of them are considered fast. Well, we want them not only for shutter speed, but background blur. And the wow, if I could only speak today.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
The background blur, otherwise known as bokeh.
Rich, smooth, buttery bokeh.
or for those on the other side of the railroad tracks, bokeh.
Sweet bokeh.
Quality of that background blur is known as the bokeh. Shallow depth of field. For that same reason, the bokeh, the background blur, but also subject separation, right? You're focused in on me, but you want the background to kind of blend away or melt away from that point on. That's the depth of field. Being able to shoot at lower ISO, you know, because as you know, if you're aware of it or not, you know, the higher ISO you get, the more opportunity for grain or, you know, the little lower quality resolution of your image. Ew! Now cameras are getting better and better at higher ISO ranges, but those are also the more pricier models too. You know, you're going for the top end models when you're looking at cameras that can do really well at very high ISOs. So most of your cameras in the last 5-10 years aren't going to do well at high ISO. So that means having a wider aperture opening is going to allow more light to come in, which means you don't need to lean on that ISO. You can keep it low at 100 or 200 or so, you know, so that you don't have that opportunity for grainy or noisy images.
That's the fact, Jack!
So anyway, that was all I wanted to say about fast lenses.
Thank God.
Do they make a big difference to you? Depends on you. Depends on what type of photos you like. I'm a big portraiture fan. You know, I love taking photos, especially of my favorite little model, Dylan, who, as I told you, is not here right now. But you know, last weekend was his first weekend. He's learning football, or for us Westerners, known as soccer. He was at his second or third little session, and they got him a new uniform. The first one was way too small, so we told him to exchange it. So they brought a bigger one, and boy, did they bring a bigger one. Now it looks like he's 4 years old, and the outfit they brought him looked like for a 10-year-old anyway. Aww. Way too big for him. But anyway, just for sample pictures of why I like a fast lens is because of the fact that it allowed me to you know, focus in on him, separate him from his surrounding subjects, as well as being able to capture speed, because he's the fastest one on his little team, out races everybody. So being able to capture that fast motion obviously needs light, because these football sessions are at 5. They start at 5:30 in the evening, and you know, as you know, down here in the tropics in Vietnam, you know, we don't have these late night 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock sunset things. You know, the sun's down by 6:15. So it's already starting to get darker in the afternoon. So I need something. Actually, I used this one here, my 1.2, to capture these scenes, regardless of, you know, how dark it was getting. So anyway, here's some quickie samples of Dylan and why I like a fast lens. So as you can see, cute little guy, huh? As you can see, he, you know, he's not the easiest target to hit when he's out there racing around, but still, the fast lens is going to allow you to gather more light, as well as get background blur, as well as your depth of field, as well as your low ISO. So anyway, that's what fast lenses are all about. For those who don't know about fast lenses, now you do. So that's all I'm going to say about that. What I do want to continue on about, though, is my little plug for my photo editing software. And I recommend anybody who's serious about their photography and likes to make their photos look better, because they look great out of camera, sure, but they could always look a little bit better. Yeah, a little more improved, actually, not look better, more improved. And who do I use? I use Luminar. That's right, Luminar Neos are the latest, greatest. One of the things I like about it is it's full of all kinds of AI features.
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
And some of the beauties of those is that what it does is it shortens your workflow. I mean, it speeds things up because there's things like spot and dust removal. So if you're down at the beach taking some photos of some hot babes, then you get home and you pull them up on the monitor, and now they look like this. And then you see you got all the birds in the background, and wait a sec, the birds in the background, what are all those spots in between the bird? What are those? And it turns out that there was a dirty sensor. You've been taking lenses on and off all day, little stuff got in on your sensor, and they show up in the sky. It's the best place to find a dirty sensor. It is up on the sky or against a white wall or something like that. But anyway, you click on spot and dust removal, and it will analyze your photo for you and remove those spots. Yay! And leave the seagulls alone. Yeah, no, the birds. But it'll leave the seagulls alone, meaning that you don't have to go in and brush off the spots here and there. Same with power line removal. You're out there taking a photo of a cool old house or a castle or something, and then you get home, you pull it up on the monitor, and these power lines everywhere. How did you not see those when you were taking the photo? Dumbass. You click on power line removal, and it will analyze, it'll analyze your photo, and it will remove, as best it can, those power lines for you. Yay! Remember, AI is not exactly perfect.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
So, it may confuse a power line with a line in the building or something else, and you'll have to brush that out separately. But it's better than having to brush out 120 other power lines at the same time. So, it's a cool feature. It has sky replacement, which a lot of other software has. That's nothing special. But it has scene relighting. So if your subject's over here and the light's coming this way, but you'd like the light more to come this way, you can actually add light and shift it this way. Well, that's kind of cool. Background removal. Let's say like this background here, I want to put myself in a jungle or something. I can take this one out and put myself amongst the jungle foliage and everything.
And now for something completely different.
I don't know why I would do that, but hey, if I wanted to, I could, right? So anyway, and it's got a bunch of other AI stuff that's just meant to speed up your workflow. So anyway, one of the other things I like about it is it's economical compared to some of the other Lightrooms and Capture Ones and Photoshops and all these other things out there. So if you want to get yourself a copy, click on the link down in the description, and it will take you to Skylum. No relation to Skynet. We're talking AI and everything.
I'll be back.
But they are going to give you, if you purchase Luminar through that link, it will give you a $10 discount. Everybody can use $10 off, right? And what do they do with that $10?
Talk it up, man.
Well, besides that, they give it to me, and I can do that. But they're located in Ukraine. It's another reason for helping them out, and you know what's going on in Ukraine at the moment. So, help a brother while he's down kind of thing, right? But it's a good product. It's a one-stop shop. It can plug in with Lightroom and all the others and play well with them. But I use it as a one-stop shop because I don't need anything else. It works well for me. So anyway, other than that, what else can you do for me? Well, you can help to expose us. No, I mean to the internet, on YouTube. And how do you do that? Well, you can subscribe. That's right. The right hand is better. Subscribe. Did you catch that? Well, tell your mom. Tell your dad and your brothers and sisters and cousins. Aww. To subscribe. Thank you. And what else does YouTube like besides subscribers? Well, besides that, everybody likes them. How about the thumbs up? Yes, give us a thumbs up. Because if you give us a thumbs up, I'll give you a little taste of, since Dylan's not here to argue, a little taste of Dylan's future girlfriends, the Thumbs Up Girls. I don't know the name of their band or their group, but they have a little song that goes something like this. Thumbs up, do 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 do, thumbs up. Aren't they cute? Anyway, give us a thumbs up and come on back next week. That's right, since you subscribed, come on back next week. We do this each and every week. Well, we try to anyway. Because who are we? Well, I'm Dr. Scott. He's Dylan.
Bond. James Bond.
And collectively, we're all Modesty Photography. We're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, vintage cameras, vintage lenses, vintage stuff. I'm pretty vintage already. But hey, we're here to talk about anything photography. Adapters, tripods, techniques, microphones, you name it, we can talk about it. So, come on back next week as we do one of these. We try to every Friday. And that's Friday Vietnam time. As I mentioned, I'm here in Vietnam. It's still raining out there. Gotta love rainy season. But that could be the day before you, the day after you, or the same day as you, because it depends on where you are in the world and what funky time zone you're in. So, come on back next week. Why? Because you belong here. That's right. And where do you belong? Well, this was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right. So thank you for dropping by. Thank you for listening. Thank you for buying a copy of Luminar through our link. Thank you for watching all the way through to this point. Thank you for just being you. All right. Good job. So that's all I've got to say. So we'll see you on the rebound. You're free to go. See ya. Bye-bye.
Here I am.